The sound of children's chatter in the hallway is a mix of English, Spanish, and 30 other languages here at Las Americas Newcomer School in Houston, Texas.
So I'm going to choose an easy one. Number 5. Aileen, what is number 5?
Maimuna Abdullahi, who the kids call Miss Mona, says teaching has never been more challenging with so many new non-English speaking children.
The hardest thing is having kids in front of you, 26 kids looking at you because they're not understanding what you're saying, and you're trying to act out, do whatever you can to get the point across to them, what you want them to do.
Many of these children have only been in the United States for a few weeks as part of the wave of undocumented children who came from Central American countries like Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. The number of them caught at the U.S. border has more than doubled in the past 2 years. Principal Marie Marino feels like a second parent to the many of the 325 children here, the most she's ever had enrolled in her school.
A lot of our students are getting to know their parents for the first time. You know, we have children who have been left behind because mom had to come and work and provide. She wasn't able to provide a stable home or maybe food or shelter in their country, and so she decided to migrate north and get a job here in the United States and provide money back to their country to help support their children.
1 out of 10 who cross the U.S. Mexico border end up starting school in Texas. Learning English is one of the biggest hurdles.
I'm originally from Somalia. I actually came to the United States when I was in 4th grade, so it's the same age that I'm teaching now. I was in their situation, and I was that student coming into a new country, learning a new language, so I connect with them more. I guess they can feel that I can connect with their situation.
From California to Texas to Florida and other states in between, about 40,000 undocumented minors have been placed with relatives or guardians between January 1st and the end of July, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Even though there's more kids than in the past, there's definitely more support than we ever had before. Everyone in the United States is eligible for a public education, right? And this Houston Independent School District has really stepped forward and said, we're ready to welcome the children. We work with many immigrant children. This is nothing new for us. We can do it. But as far as like food stamps or Medicaid or other public entitlement programs, these children are not eligible. So what they're having to do is find donations.
White House estimates from May show that the projected costs of caring for and resettling child migrants could reach about $2.3 billion next year. Immigration expert Tony Payan says the system needs urgent repair, or it will get costlier.
Of course, they end up costing the system in the sense that they're going to be going to school anyway. Their parents are not going to have them home. They're going to enroll them in school, and then if they do not have health care, which is very often the case with undocumented families, then they will end up in the emergency room in hospitals, and that will also add to the cost of care. So yeah, these are a number of costs that keep accruing because the system is broken.
I volunteer at the local shelter on weekends.
These 2 Honduran children came to the U.S. with their mother to reunite with family.
They should be in school right now, but the paperwork has been difficult. So they don't feel strange that they don't know English yet, but I'm not sure how they'll deal once they're in school.
Marino says language is a big deal for learning, but her kids have survived much harder things.
Getting here was hard, you know, and the type of living that they had in their country was also very difficult. We had kids who were trying to run away from the gangs. You know, once you turn 13 in some of these countries, you're inducted into gangs. And so how do you run away from that? And the stories that you hear of you know, rapes that happened, you know, and falling off of trains and seeing people getting their legs severed from the train is not something that you and I maybe see very often.
While many of these children are dealing with trauma, the harsh memories of the homes they left behind, teachers say they're resilient.
Have friends. I wouldn't say they forget what happened in the past, but they're just more like getting used to being in America, being in a safe country, so that makes them ready to learn English. Most of the kids are excited to be here. They're excited that they left wherever that was not safe, and they're here with whoever they're here with their family, and they're here to learn English. So some of them are excited, some of them are quiet for a longer period of time than some of the kids, but most of them or all of them learn English eventually.
For Abdullahi, every day is a new battle for her kids that she's ready to help them prepare for.
When I'm there standing in front of my door, I want them to know that they're welcome, that they're here and I care for them.